Welcome to the Versa Business Tips Podcast. I'm your host, founder and CEO of Versa Business Systems, Shaheen Masloum. We are here with a very special guest today, Dr. Kristy Heron. How are you doing today, Kristy?
Hi, I am great. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. So for those out there that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So, I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine, which is Chinese herbs, internally healing, and acupuncture combined. I have a lot of titles, so I'm going to go through them real fast. I'm also a licensed massage therapist. I'm an exercise specialist, a clinical aromatherapist, sports stretch therapist. In addition to that, I teach massage across the country to other massage therapists for a company called Aveda, which is a global branding company of beauty, health, and wellness. I'm sure some people have heard of it. And in addition to that, I also help other individuals having their own online supplement health and wellness business to coach other people that they have patients or clients as well.
Wow.
So a lot of different
how do you
hats.
keep up with all that?
Yeah. So pretty crazy schedule. If I don't have, I will tell you my day planner every day, looking at it, writing it down. I'm a paper person because I feel that it sticks to my brain better than typing in the computer for my schedule. So have to see it on paper.
Yeah. My fiance is the same way. And I make fun of her sometimes because she'll write something down and then she'll put it in her phone. I'm like, why are you doing it twice?
Yeah.
She's like, that's how I
It's how it
remember it, right?
processes.
We all have our things that work for us. You know what I mean? And it's so obviously your crazy schedule, but all of those things kind of tie into each other. It's all along wellness and health. It's all in that same realm, right? So what are it's a big topic right now, right? Everybody's trying to be healthy. I mean, you're seeing all kinds from young to old, there's all these different supplements and oriental what do you call it, supplements, as well as like teas and all these herbal medicines, and people are trying to get away from your typical drugs and your Western medicine.
Yes,
right?
they are, and they're searching out for their own healthcare now. They are being advocates for their own healthcare and trying to take their body into a better state of mind and a better state of a balance, finding that balance within themselves, whether it's through their supplements, it's for their mind, their spirit, how they present themselves in the world. So it's all kind of a unique opportunity to look at natural wellness.
Right. And what's really fascinating to me is like a lot of this stuff has been around for centuries, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like people are starting to use some of the old ways of doing things again, and it's becoming a lot more popular. Like I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think medicine has gotten overcomplicated over the years, and in turn made it worse for people. Do you agree?
I agree. And I feel some ways our body is so powerful, we don't realize that we can naturally heal ourselves in a lot of different ways. I mean, today's society, we are so highly stressed that we're throwing our body and our brains into this neurotoxicity of chemicals being released, producing cortisol, producing more inflammation, more disease. Disease is a disease in the body. So if we can find that balance and bring our body back to that balance, we can really naturally heal ourselves.
Right, absolutely. So I keep seeing this word biohacking when I'm looking online. Explain to me what that is. I really don't have a clue, but I've heard it a bunch of times. I see people talking about it on, TikTok and Instagram. Explain what that is.
So it's kind of like taking your own health and your own body and your natural health care into your own hands, being your advocate, the bio advocate for yourself. So it's supplementing, trying to detox your cells internally so that your cells function better for your organs and have more energy and you heal faster. So, for instance, the company I partnered with that I coach other people with have different elixirs. So, we have a brain elixir that helps with our brain health, that helps one with our skin, one helps with our digestion. We also have supplements that help detoxify the liver naturally, so with natural plant herbs and supplements. And these are all science-based. They're third-party research. So if you're not familiar with research, research can be changed a lot. And if they're funded, they will change the study based off of what they want. If they're third party studied, they cannot change the results. So they have to publish what they study, which a lot of people don't realize
Ah,
until you get into
yeah.
healthcare and medicine. I was supposed to go into become an orthopedic surgeon. And I was like, forget this. I want to make
Right.
people feel good. There's a
Yeah.
better way to deal with pain.
Wow.
I grew up a competitive gymnast, a soccer player. I was the first female to play football in the state of Maryland.
Wow. Very
So,
cool.
set a precedent. And I had a lot of injuries. I went through a lot of
Right.
joint surgeries. I dealt with the pain. I didn't want to deal with it taking pills and surgeries. So
Right.
there were natural ways that I could do that, and I have found them.
Wow, that's very cool. So, a lot of our viewers are high performing people. They're constantly working. A lot of us need to find the shortcuts. We don't have the time to go to the doctor all the time. We don't have the time to get sick, right?
No, we don't.
What
I know
for
I don't.
Right. So I guess my question is like, so for somebody like me that knows absolutely nothing about medicine, we don't have the time to keep going to the doctor. We don't really know what we need as far as supplements. Like I've tried so many different supplements, buying it on Amazon, and I've done 10x Health, and I've bought these trend boxes and these,
Mhm.
different things you see online. And like, what is like a good way to start taking control of your health for that busy person? Like, is there tests you can take? Is there a blood sample you can send
I
off?
mean,
Like, what are some suggestions that you have?
you can always get blood work from your regular doctor, and then someone
Right.
like me can over it and go from there. However, you definitely want to start supplementing. I personally, in my own opinion, is naturally with a vitamin. Our
Right.
food is so toxic nowadays that we are not getting the nutrients we need. And it's
Yeah.
kind of scary. It's causing more diseases. So if you're getting a good supplement, that's a whole food blend supplement with the right nutrients, the right adaptogens, you can change the structure of your cells, because don't think you're going to get it from just your diet anymore. That's different.
Right.
We have so many chemicals nowadays being sprayed.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what's real and what's not real. And
Yeah. For real, it's like, but before, what was it, eat an apple a day, but where are you getting that apple
yeah,
from?
and where's it coming
You know
from?
what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
like I
it's great. I was
definitely.
reading this thing the other day, like even what was it? The stuff you use to wash your clothes can be super toxic.
Oh
Like
yes,
it's crazy to me.
our pores and our skin absorb everything. So what you
Yeah.
put on top is just as important as what you put in the body.
Right. Right. So, you also work with athletes, right? So professional athletes.
Yes, I do.
Very busy, very high energy, high stress jobs, constantly in the media, and they've got 1,000 things to do, just like yourself. Like, what are some of the things that you're doing for those individuals that are regularly, pretty healthy people, right? They still need these supplements and these regiments, and like go over some of those things that even those people that are like super healthy, what they're doing in order to stay that way.
Yeah. So, one of the things is definitely their supplements for recovery. So I was given permission so I can talk about it. One of my high profile clients, his name is CJ Mosley. I'm sure everyone has heard of him. He is a linebacker for
Absolutely.
the Jets, used to play for us here in Baltimore for the Ravens. He's been a longtime client. Part of his recovery is twice a week massage, acupuncture, stretching. We get the breath work going because your breath is really important to bring the organs and everything that circulates into balance. With the
Right.
massage, we're getting circulation of the muscles. The acupuncture, we're helping with inflammation. And then we talk about diet. What can he eat to help faster recover himself, along with supplements? So I have a supplement line that's certified for Informed Sport Alliance that athletes can take. So we have a supplement that has collagen 2, turmeric, ginger, tart cherry, to help with all the inflammation and repair the muscle tissue
Right.
faster. So it's really important for those guys that are literally having a car crash every day. How do we
Right.
recover faster? How do we get them back onto the field so that they feel good playing at their top level?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's part of it. It's like bringing that body back into the balance so that it recovers faster. Having a 1 hour massage acupuncture session is like having 8 hours of extra sleep. So it allows
Wow.
the body to continuously recover even faster.
Right. Now I've heard people say that before. My fiance has bad knees. She played soccer, and she was really good, and she got beat up a lot, and her knees are bad. She goes to acupuncture, and she's like a new person
Mm-hmm.
for weeks until she goes back again. I have super bad. I've had 14 surgeries on my right foot. Never tried acupuncture just because my first introduction to acupuncture was The Nutty Professor. I don't know if you ever seen that movie where there's like a scene in the movie where he's got like, things all over his body. That's all I know about acupuncture. So for those out there that are dumb when it comes to acupuncture, explain the science behind that. Like what is happening there that helps with pain reduction and inflammation and all these different benefits to acupuncture? Like what's happening there?
So what the needle is actually doing is doing like a micro trauma to the internal body. So it's sending a brain chemical response from the brain down to the body where the needle is,
Right.
telling it, hey, there's a little micro, like a micro trauma to that area. So it produces natural cortisone in the body, like in the body, to start helping that inflammation and pain relief. The needles are
That
so
makes
tiny. The
perfect sense.
needles are so tiny. They're about
Right.
as thick as the strand of a hair. So they're real
Wow.
flimsy, they're real tiny, but they're
Right.
kind of like giving that response to release neurotoxins and send the chemical reaction to start reducing inflammation and start helping with the pain relief.
That makes perfect. Nobody's explained it that
That's
way.
how I
Like,
explain it, because I know people want the science, but they want
yeah,
the basis of it.
yeah, but like that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's this little thing that's sending a signal and saying, "Hey, something's wrong here," and then
Mm-hmm.
your brain's like, "Oh, we
Let's.
have this stuff that we naturally produce. Let's send it there."
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
So yeah, a lot. No one ever really explains it that way. So I come up
Right.
with my own way of explaining it so that people understand. How do
Yeah,
we help it?
the explanation is usually, I don't know, it
It
works, or it's
works.
like some super complex thing that nobody understands.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, I mean, I'm gonna go and book because that's one thing I've never tried. I've tried just about everything for pain management, from natural supplements to oxy to massages to patches, you name it. Um, so then the massage side of it, is that all for muscle recovery, or is there more benefits to that?
It's muscle recovery, circulation, lymphatic flow, removing
Right.
toxins naturally through the body. So if you're tight, I mean, loosening up the muscles is going to help relieve pain off of the nerves in the
Right.
body. So the combination of it both is a unique experience. It's
Yeah.
There's not many people that have the licensing to be able to do both in the
Both.
combination. They
Right.
can I do the sports stretch, I do the massage, I do the acupuncture, I can do the
Right.
internal healing. So it's kind of like one stop shop for people, which is
Yeah.
very unique
You got to be
licensing.
super busy.
Yeah, I know. I am.
That's awesome. So now you said you travel around too, like so people you can go to wherever they're at and help them with these things.
So I travel a lot. So I travel to go see all of my professional athletes. I do have an office, which is right behind me. I'm in my office today, which is in Towson, Maryland, where I
Okay.
see patients when I'm not during football season.
Right.
When I'm not in football season, I also travel around the country teaching massage therapists my philosophy, my techniques, and how to teach their patients how to live healthier and live better.
Right. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? Like, it, everybody wants to make money, everybody
Yeah.
wants to be happy, but you've got to be health. I mean, health is literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're healthier, you're happier. If you're happier, you're able to focus more on work. It
Yeah.
all goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's a song that I always play in my reels and Instagrams, like health is wealth. It's like this funky Jamaican. It's like health is wealth. Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
yeah, but it's so true. It all goes hand in hand together. So another thing I wanted to ask you about is I keep seeing these. I think it goes on your feet, but I don't know if they're real or if it's just some gimmick, but is there really like things that you can go on your feet that actually remove toxins from your body? Like I was watching this video the other day and they pulled it off their foot and there was all this like black stuff.
We were
like,
just talking about this today with my last patient before we filmed
okay.
this, and she soaked her feet, went to a place where it's like ionic pulling from the feet. I do believe a lot in the feet. I teach a reflexology class, so the feet are very connected to the body. Our feet have the most amount of open pores that are bigger than any other pores in our skin, so they absorb things more than the rest of our body. So the patches that you see that people like pull off and are different colored, they are actually herbs in the patches that help get into the feet. So once you're sweating or they get wet, the herbs are darker colored. So they're gonna
got you. So that stuff is not like toxins coming out of your feet.
They're actually herbs that are going into your feet to actually help go into the body to help detoxify even more.
Very cool. Very cool. So if somebody wants to, discuss a plan with you or, take a look at some of the different supplements, like how do they get a hold of you? What does that process look like? Like, do they need to come and see you, have a phone conversation? Do you need all their medical records? Like, explain to me how that process works to be able to, meet somebody, say, hey, okay, well, here's what I think you should do. Here's a good, regimen to start. What does that process
So they
look
can reach out to me via, I have social media, so they can always send me a message, but if they contact me on my personal cell, I'll answer back. They can reach, I have a website, heronhealing.net, so you can send me a message there. We'll do a Zoom call usually, fill out some paperwork. We'll do the intake. We can either do it live in person. If you can't make it, we'll do it through a Zoom or a phone call. And we can go over a plan for you and go from there. So if we need to do hands-on body work, then I'll schedule you in my office usually. And most of the herbs and supplements, I do Zoom call or phone call that way.
Nice. Did your camera cut out?
Is it there? Did it cut out?
Oh, there you are.
Did it cut out? Sorry.
I don't know if it will on the back end, but so now for somebody that's I'm all about energy, right? Like I've tried coffee, I don't think it does anything for me. I think it's a mind thing. I've had Celsius. I was on a Red Bull kick for a long time, and I learned how terrible that is for your heart.
It is.
So I stopped that. And I see so many, I'm constantly, every single day I see some new supplement for energy and brain function and this, that, and the other. Like, what are some natural supplements that you suggest to people? Like, is that mud water for real? Like the mushrooms and,
mushroom complex is great. It gives, it's an antioxidant, so it's going to go in and help the cellular level. I actually, in my line, have an energy shot made from yerba mate tea. It has clean caffeine. And we also have an adaptogen energy drink made from yerba mate and green tea that has adaptogens, which I'm actually drinking right now. So botanical energy adaptogens. Cool. Adaptogens are our mushroom complex, ashwagandha root, which is a big name that everyone hears now, ashwagandha.
Yeah, I've heard of that. What is that?
So it's an herb that's great to help with stress. It helps combat your stress and helps the block the cortisol production from overproducing. So when you're stressed, it's kind of an herb that goes in and allows your body to naturally adapt to stress. So when I'm feeling I need a little energy like I did. I usually have a little bit of crash mid-afternoon because I have a long day.
Right.
This is my turn to, because I know I'm getting the great adaptogens. I'm getting clean energy that's from green tea and yerba mate. And I don't have the shakes or the jitters or my heart racing from it.
Right. Very cool. So now can we find all this stuff on heronhealing.com?
You can. Heronhealing.net. And it's heron.net. And there's a link into my supplement line there that you can go in and look at all the products from that link.
Okay, awesome. I'll make sure to include that in the description of the podcast. So we discussed health, wealth, happiness, right? So now I want to talk a little bit about like your schedule. So you
Yes.
know you wear a lot of different hats, right? And so when you're working with the professional athletes and these high performing people, you're traveling around, like besides just writing down things and keeping a calendar, like how do you deal with so many, like remembering what you're doing with each person, and like it just sounds like an awful lot, like a lot of people, they have different businesses, but you're generally only going to have two or three different types of businesses.
Yeah.
But with all the different things that you're doing, like how are you keeping track of that and getting the right things to the right people?
Well, my patients all have a file. So my patient
No,
notes
that
all,
makes sense,
so
right,
they all
right,
have a file. But everything else is pretty much up there. I am so passionate about the body and healing the body. And
right,
I've done it myself. I've been there myself. I've been a athlete, but at a very young age. As a gymnast,
right.
you're 12 years old traveling the country without your parents. You
Wow.
learn a lot. You learn a lot about life. And I really think it helped me get to where I am today and understand how to deal with a schedule like that. So
Right.
it's really important to know how to find your balance. And I
Yeah. No.
other than that, it's just ingrained in me because I live it. It's when you
r-
live the life that you're preaching, it's easier to
Right.
know what you're doing and to be passionate about it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's the same thing with us, right? Like I am a business owner.
Yeah.
I need all the things that we offer to our clients.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And so, if you're living it, it's so much easier to do. It doesn't feel like work.
No,
It's just what you're doing
not at
anyway,
all. I
right?
mean, yeah, I have exhausting hours, but do I go home stressed and hating my job? No, I love my job.
Right.
Like, I love what
Right.
I do.
Yeah, yeah. It always blows my mind that there's so many people that wake up and they're so drained and they don't want to go to work. It's
No,
like, why spend your life doing something that you hate when there's so many people looking for whatever you love to do? There's plenty of people out there that'll hire you to do it if you
hmm
don't want to build
if
it
you don't want to
yourself.
build it yourself.
Right. It's mind blowing to me. Um. So what other tips do you have for people that are trying to be more healthy? Something easy that they can do from home, to feel more energized, or to get, like, when they have that 3 o'clock crash coming on, like other than drinking a tea or taking a shot of energy. Is there anything physical that we can do when we're at home or when we're at the office to kind of give us a boost of energy with our
So
body?
my top tips definitely for most people, because I know our society is not doing that. Number one, make sure you're drinking water. Like, it is the most important supplement out there. Our society is so dehydrated that what's
Yeah.
most people get up and drink? We go straight to coffee. Like, we've been sleeping for 6 to 8 hours with no water. We're dehydrated when you wake up. And you're
Yeah.
pulling
I think it was you that told me try to drink a bottle of water before you drink
any,
anything
yeah,
else.
it
I think
probably
it was a
was
few
me.
months ago,
It probably
and
was
I've
me.
and I've started doing that, and it has helped me tremendously,
It will,
honestly.
and it will help balance your body out, because once you're in a dehydrated state, if you start pulling your nutrients from your body without having that water, you're going to feel
Yeah.
tired. Um,
Yep.
Another one is definitely conscious breathing. We, as we're humans, we take about 35,000 breaths in a day. And I always do this when I teach a class. I always ask this question: how many breaths of those 35,000 are you aware of in a day?
Wow.
Think about that.
Interesting.
We're automatically breathing, but we're not aware of it.
Right.
So if you
So explain that to me. So you mean like take the time to like count your
to sit
breaths?
back, take a breath, take the breath of life in, like, breathe it.
Interesting.
See what it feels like in your body. If you're not
I'm gonna
breathing,
try
you're
that.
going to feel that.
Right.
So
Right. So
consciously,
now, with breathing, so it brings me to something else that I've been looking at. So oxygen. I've seen some ads recently about, there was a thing that Grant Cardone always talks about, this like oxygen tank.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like 10 grand. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not spending 10 grand to go sit in some tank for, 10 minutes a day. What are some other things that we could be doing, or some other things that we can get that are maybe a little bit cheaper or easier to ingest some better oxygen into our body? Or is that not really
No, you can. I mean, certain plants give off more oxygen, so you could have plants around your surroundings. Definitely the conscious breathing.
okay?
The conscious breathing is really going to help that oxygen exchange. There is a
Interesting.
supplement on my Amazon storefront called Cell Power. That's
Okay.
oxygenated. It's oxygenated drops you can add into your water as well. So that helps
Awesome.
put more oxygen into the cells. But deep conscious breathing is all you need to do. Slow down, take 5 minutes a day. Focus on your breath.
Right.
Really
Five
expand your
minutes.
lungs. 5 minutes a day. People are so rushing around that they forget to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're obviously not forgetting to breathe because we'd be
But it's
dead, but
automatic, but we're forgetting to
yeah.
consciously breathe.
Right. We're not consciously breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to try that, and I'll definitely let you
Yeah, you'll
know
have to let me know how
how
you
it
feel
goes.
after that.
I'm sure I'll probably feel good because every tip you've given me so far has worked out. So, man. So, before we end for the day, do you have anything else to add to the people out there that are, either stressed out, super busy, not enough energy? Are there any other things that you can give us to help us throughout the day, other than being conscious about our breathing, drinking more water, just being more cognitive of our health?
Be more conscious of what you're putting in your body. If you
Yeah.
eat crap, you're going to feel like crap. If you eat well, you're going to feel well. So it's
Right.
kind of simple. It's not a difficult process. That healing the body, having energy, feeling good is simple. It's not
Right.
complicated, and people make it very complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one last thing before we end. Supplements, right? So everybody, there's so many different supplements out there. Somebody told me the other day there's a ingredient in most supplements that's actually really, really bad for you. And he said, go and look in your cabinet and look at all your supplements. And I found that most of my supplements
I
have
had
it.
it.
And he's like, dude, you got to throw. What was it? What was the ingredient?
Good question, because I don't know. That's a good question.
It was like not niacin.
No,
It was
nice.
something that like it was like a poison. The end of the word is like the name of a poison.
Nice.
Um,
Some kind of.
what was it called?
I don't know. Good question. Let's see.
Oh man,
Well, I don't
I don't
think
remember. I threw them all away, but there was like it was an ingredient that the end of the word is like a poison,
hmm.
and I noticed, and then I remember looking it up, and it was like it's really bad for you. But anyways, it just goes to that, like, being mindful of what you're putting
Putting
into your
in.
body,
That's
right?
so the
Like,
supplement
look at the
line.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Like, it's
The
crazy.
supplement line that I actually partnered with, that I help others and coach others on the brand, when you read the ingredients, you know what they are. There's not something you're
Right,
questioning. Like, I'll read
right. You're like,
yerba.
what is
So
that?
mine, this is the energy shot real fast. Yerba mate leaf extract, hawthorn berry root extract, green tea, um, with shoshana berry, mountain ash berry, licorice root. So there's like, we know what they
Right.
are.
It's things that you know what they are. You got a bunch of berries, some licorice, some
Yeah,
tea.
yeah.
It's
So
all
it's
real
natural
stuff.
and it's good
It's
for
not
you.
some
It's not
chemical, right?
chemicals. These are plant based, soy free, gluten free, vegan, kosher. So they're good
Right.
for everyone.
Now, everybody seems to think that being healthy is expensive. Is that the case with a lot of these supplements? Like, are they a lot more expensive?
So I like to break it down cost wise. As I break my supplements down, and I'll be honest, I spend a couple $100 a month on my shakes, my supplements. However, if I would go to, say, a popular fast food restaurant, I'm going to
Right.
bring one up. Let's go say Chick-fil-A. It costs
Right.
around $15 to $20 per person to go to Chick-fil-A, and what kind of nutrients are you getting there? If you go there
Right.
every day for 30 days, $20, that's $600 a month. Would you rather spend $200 a month and get the nutrients you need, or are you going to keep eating crap that's going to make you feel like crap? So there's where I bring the cost effect. Oh, it's expensive for the month. Well, then you're not looking at what you're spending, or you just don't want to make the change. That's part of it. People are afraid to make a change.
When you actually look at it, it's really not more expensive at all.
It's actually
like you
less.
Can't afford not to. Right.
Yeah. Either do you want to feel better, or do you want to end up in 10 years in a hospital with trying to figure out why you're so sick, and then you don't get any answers. Then they just prescribe you more pills to make you even more sick with more symptoms and more problems.
But at least they'll have something more to complain about, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Because that, they feel better if they complain. They think they're going to get the sympathy and, sorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just those certain types of people, right? Some of us want to build, grow, be healthier, be happier, and other people just want to complain about it.
Yeah, exactly. So you can make that choice. That's your choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So I'm going to make sure I put the website on the description, heronhealing.net. They can reach out to you there. They can find your supplements and reach out to you to come see you for massage, acupuncture. Well, awesome. It was great talking to you. I can't wait to have you on here in the near future. And good luck with everything. Stay busy, stay healthy.
Thanks for having me today.
Enjoy the wedding. Absolutely. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. Have a great day.